Hello YouTube, this is Donaldv2 and this is a rant video I've decided to do because of things I keep hearing over and over again. This is probably a bit late in my opinion. This one and probably a few rants I'm going to do, but I've decided to do rants for really no reason other than this stuff really bothers me a lot. The first thing is subs and dubs, just in general. Subs and dubs, sub versus dubs, whatever. Just that in general. Some of that really bothers me. Just the arguments on both sides, which usually what I've heard is subs. Every time. No matter who I hear subs. I hardly ever hear dubs, which is kind of bothersome. Because preferably I like the dubs way better than subs. Mostly because it's in English and I can understand what's going on. Oh, subtitles I know are in English too, but I have to read them. Personally, I'm too lazy to read, but that's not the only reason. But I'll get into all that later. But for now, let's just say personally, I like dubs way better. Subs and dubs, good points, bad points. Both have good points, both have bad points. Neither one of them is perfect at all. The first good point about the subtitles are that you actually have the normal Japanese voice actors. Since the show was made in Japan, then you actually have the actual original voice actors for the original show, which is good. And another good thing is, in some cases, the translation is better. I say in some cases because I'm pretty sure not all fan subs are accurate. They could be very close, but I'm pretty sure anything translated to English is not accurate at all. But it can try. Another good thing about subtitles is the fact that it can be a subtitled version of a show of an anime can be watched in a loud room or on a very low audio quality laptop or something like that that can't really produce sound very well, or the room is too loud you really can't hear it. You can still watch the show because it has subtitles. You can read them, which is good. Now for the bad points, which first bad point is, to be honest, I don't know if it's just me, but I personally cannot see both the words and the action at the same time. If they're talking in the middle of a fight scene, I'm all lost. If they're talking in the middle of a fight scene, I'm completely lost. Just because words at the bottom of the screen, and then they're fighting up here. And if there's a white flash while they're talking, that's just really, really bad. Because another bad part about subtitles is its text is way too blendy. It's text. It can blend in with anything that's white. White bricks, white anything. Unless they change the color of the subtitles to fit that one point, it blends, or has a possibility of blending. Which is really, really bad because you can't tell what they're saying at all. No matter how much you defend it, if the text blends into the background, you can't watch it at all. Now, I haven't really seen a case of this, mostly because I've not watched many animes subbed, but I'm pretty but that is a very high possibility, because I've seen text in games, text and other stuff that just blend into the background so perfectly and fine. Pisses me off to no end. And last but not least, the last thing about subtitles that really annoy me are the text go way too fast. The subtitle text goes way too fast. And for the most part, it's annoying. Because in order to understand what's going on, you have to stop the video. If you didn't read all of it, you have to stop the video, rewind it, and then go back to where if you rewind it too far, you have to go forward some more. And you're just sitting there like this for like 5 minutes to get to where you can pause it at that one spot, which stops the show entirely, and read it. That is true if you're trying to watch it on like anything but DVD. DVD wouldn't be that hard to do that, but it'd still be annoying because you have to rewind it, do that still. But other sources could be even more annoying, especially if it's on 30-minute time limit basis. Some people may know what I'm talking about. Especially like right below the video thing. If this video is 30 minutes long, that thing would be hard to pinpoint where exactly you want to take it back, or exactly where you want to take it. You're going to have to watch part of it over again. And again, and again, if you want to try and catch one thing that somebody said or something. That's what I'm talking about. And now, I've talked about the good and bad points of subtitles. How about we move on to the good and bad points of dubs? First of all, dubs have English voice actors. Yay. Meaning, no more text, no more having to read, and for the most part, just a lot better. And for the most part, if you have the English voice actors, they have to make sure that the sound makes sense. So in short, in some ways, it's even better because you actually get everything to make sense. If you read the text sometimes, text might not make sense because of translation problems. But most of the animes I've seen that are dubbed, the translations are usually pretty good because they'll change what the Japanese said to make it make sense in English, grammar-wise and stuff, or just speaking-wise. Another good point about dubs are that you can see all the action because there's no words on screen. Your eyes will not go down to the words to see what they're saying while they're in the middle of a fight scene or something. Now on to the bad points. The first bad point about the dubs is it can't be watched in a loud room because if it's way too loud, you can't hear it, and unless it's on a DVD, you can probably throw subtitles on. Then you might be able to hear it, but other than that, you can't hear it. You don't know what's going on. But that's completely different. That's just because it's loud and you can't hear what's going on. It's the same thing that I said about the good thing about the subtitles is the bad thing about the dub, pretty much. That's all I'm saying here. Voice act from the things that reason I'm ranting about this. The voice actors. Another reason that dubs are bad. The voice actors can be bad, which is more of a personal preference than anything. Voice actors in anything can be bad. A freaking actor in a movie can be bad. Voice acting in a game can be bad. Even a really good game, like throwing one out there, Persona 3, which I've been playing recently, that's why I threw it out there. But just in general, that's more of a personal preference than anything. The ear sore, it's an ear sore, but whatever. That's just, I don't know what to say about that. But that's more of a personal preference than anything, that voice actors are bad. Like the voice actors they choose are bad. Like, For Sonic X, an example, which is one I've heard so many times over, Sonic X and the people they chose to play in Sonic X. I've watched that show. Really only in English. I'm not seeing the Japanese version of it, which people probably tell me I'm out of line this whole thing, just because of that, which is bull. But truly, though, I've watched that show. The voice acting is actually pretty good. In fact, it kind of makes it more entertaining. It makes it more entertaining for me because it kind of makes it more funny and hilarious because just the way their actions are and the voice acting and stuff like that is. I find it a little bit more funny.